since we're talking about lunatics, Charlie Kirk, they all got to go to the anti-vax. You will see this. They've all got to go to the anti-vax because the anti-vax stuff, for the most part, is really just a key sign of the grift. Because that's just where the money is.
Key sign of the what?
Of the grift.
Oh, yeah.
Politics are just not compelling to broad audiences right now. They're just not.
You don't want to be the one saying, hey, let's be against the Build Back Better or those sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
If you're on the right, you don't want to be talking about getting against the Build Back Better. But right now, look, and I've been doing this now for 16 years, more. I don't know how many years. And 18 years it'll be in a month or 2 or 3 months. And there's an ebb and flow into this. And there are some periods of time where people are sick of politics. They don't want to talk about it. People who are interested in politics, like for the audience of this show, the daily audience has basically remained, has been here week in, week out. Maybe it's grown a little bit over the past year and a half or so, but the differences are people who dip into politics for different times. And this is just one of those 6 to 8 month periods of time where people are not. It'll probably pick up as their races come because most people perceive politics just to be about elections. And you can see the grift when they're talking about anti-vax. They'll be off this at one point. But here's Charlie Kirk bringing on an anti-vax activist, I guess. I don't even fully understand how one can be an activist in this way.
Mm-hmm. She's supposedly a doctor, but I don't really believe that.
Where is the data? I know that people have self-reported that they have gotten injured by the vaccination. And there are certainly instances, again, we know they're less than COVID, probably less than the flu, of myocarditis. And we should also say, myocarditis has been made out to be this huge, huge thing. There are heart ailments that are problematic. But you know what you're supposed to do when you get myocarditis? If you're a kid or an adolescent, you got to take it easy for a couple of days.
Yep.
Okay. Here is anti-vax activist Sherry Tenpenny and Charlie Kirk.
I really believe that there's strong ramifications of what this COVID shot does to our genetics as a genetic modification technology, that our God-given genes, that there's one of us, when your dad's sperm and your mom's egg came together and God said, spark of life, there's never been another one of you ever, and there won't be in the future. It's God's gift to us, and Yahweh is actually written right across of our genes in the Hebrew language, in the Hebrew letters. And these COVID shots are actually going in and snipping those sulfide bonds.
Pause it for 1 second. We may have to go back. I just want to be clear what this doctor has said, that the words Yahweh in Hebrew are written across our genes by God. Now,
I mean, it is messenger RNA. That's what the M stands for.
I'm trying to
dipshit.
Sort of just parse this. Okay, what if I just concede, yes, of course, Yahweh is written across our genes. Everybody knows that. But that doesn't prove that the vaccine is erasing it. But wait a second. So go back. Here we go.
Hebrew, in the Hebrew language, in the Hebrew letters, and these COVID shots are actually going in and snipping those sulfide bonds and removing Yahweh from our genes. And actually, when you do all the spiritual, biblical texts and saying, our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and we volunteer to contaminate it, I think that that's a really, really big deal. And I think that those people who've taken the shot and start looking around at all the different ramifications of that, it's going to become a spiritual revival, Charlie. And, about that people need to get back to God, and because they got vaccinated for one of two reasons, either out of fear or convenience.
Do we not have more of that? I would like to hear how Charlie reacts to that.
Well, he's going to look for it.
I mean,
This is narcissism. Like that, there is an inherent narcissism to these anti-vax activists, right? Because there's never going to be anyone like you. You are God's special baby. And Yahweh's message is written across your... If that kind of changes the uniqueness of each individual, if everybody has Yahweh's letters written on our DNA. But regardless, like, that's part of it too. They feel that they do not have to participate in society to protect other people because they are God's special child. And only they are the people enlightened enough to see that perspective.
I think God is sending us a message that once his name was translated into the English script of YHWH, he wanted us to see it in the genetic code. So I think she's onto something.
what's really, really disturbing is, I guess that's why Hebrew got developed in the first place, was because we wouldn't have had Hebrew had we not had it written on our genes. Okay. People should be selling Yahweh genes.
Oh, yeah.
That should
you can
definitely
bedazzle it with the words of Yahweh.
That is just bat crap crazy. Bat crap crazy, but makes sense.
I'm trying to even follow the arguments of people, because ACT and G are the genetic stuff, right? I don't know why.
Oh, so you're out there and you say you don't know anything about genes, but you're perfectly confident saying that Yahweh is not written on our genes and that on our DNA, and that the vaccine is not erasing it. Okay.